Just remember, Pokemon Master, Ace, Grand Champion, Master.
Jesus.
Joan, let me ask you. If
Hmm.
someone won in a Pokemon battle, if two people competed and one won, wouldn't you say the person who won is a champion?
I would call you a badge holder.
Okay, so
I don't
Badge
know. Did you beat me to get the position or?
Jack, you want to fill her in?
Oh yeah, no, I took 2 L's. It was close battles, but I ain't worried about it. The rematch is gonna be great, so
Yeah,
we'll
it
see.
will be.
Oh, okay.
And Joan, I'm just busting his chops. I trust me, it's just a joke. There's no I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
mean anything to it.
Oh, I enjoy the banter.
But everything I say to Rudel, that's mean. I truly mean that. Welcome to the Digital Arcade Podcast, guys. We have taken a little break, but we have returned for episode 7. You see, I do remember these things. So yeah, trust me, I know what I'm doing. It's not my first time. But guys, I am not alone because today I have two wonderful streamers to join me. Coming in, returning guest, Mr. Anime Hero 92, aka Jack. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? Happy Saturday, everybody.
All right, good to have you back. Always good to have you here. I know you're a hardcore gamer, man, and I needed someone who's just as hardcore. So much so, I needed to go far out. You could say to the stars, because I got an official member of the stars right here, Miss Joan of Arcade. Welcome in, welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
So, for the viewers at home who don't know you, who are you? What do you do?
My name is Joan of Arcade. I'm a PlayStation Network streamer, which I'm going to dabble in some PC at some point. But I've been streaming Twitch for a few years now. I used to do cosplays, mainly in Resident Evil Resistance, which is the ASIM multiplayer that came with Resident Evil 3 Remake. A lot of people overlooked, but it gave me Operation Raccoon City vibes. And I met a lot of friends, and I got to do a lot of cool projects, some interviews. I got a voice act in some fan-made CGI movies for Resident Evil called Resident Evil Reborn, interview with the Ether Frequency, and some amateur tournaments that ended up being a good experience overall. Just because of the bonding that and all the friendships that I made. It's really is a lovely community. It'll be 4 years old in April. And I'm a variety streamer, though. I do Final Fantasy. I do other horror games. Right now, I'm kind of focused on the Aliens Fire Team Elite. I don't know why I'm just now finding out about this game.
Nice, nice. Now, is that the top-down shooter one? Is it like
No,
four
this
players?
one behind the shoulder, third person, kind of looks like Tom Clancy's The Division.
Okay, okay.
Gives me that feel. A lot of people who play World War Z said it kind of reminds them of that. Except I'm kind of tired of the whole zombie thing. I've been a Resident Evil fan since the beginning, so I'm kind of tired of the zombie thing unless Resident Evil is going to do it. So it's nice to shoot it like Xenomorphs and Aliens. It's got the same sound effects like from the movies, and it's just nice to go back into that environment. I wish they had a little bit more character customization, but you know, it's a free game right now. I think it's the free PlayStation Plus game of the month or whatever.
Okay.
So if you
Shoot.
have PlayStation,
Yeah,
check it out.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Definitely a link up for that if anything. But yeah, welcome in. It's good to have you both here. Yeah, we got a great episode. We got quite a few things to talk about. Because yeah, the gaming world has been a lot of stuff going on. But before anything, most important thing, Joan, I gotta ask you, since you're a Resident Evil fan, and you mentioned Operation Raccoon City, how do you feel about the game? Because I love that game to death, and I feel like I'm alone dying on this hill standing for that game because I enjoyed that so much when I played it.
You really did love it. I played it a lot for Xbox 360, and I recently re-downloaded it or did the stream, the older game catalogs for the PlayStation, and played it with some of my friends who used to be hot and heavy into that game too. At the time, I didn't have online friends to play. I'd just be playing with some random strangers online, and I really enjoyed that game. I didn't even have the DLC where you get to play as the good guys. Always just played as the bad guys. I actually thought about doing a Lupo cosplay. Isn't that her name? Lupo?
Lupo. Lobo. That's it.
Lobo.
Yeah.
The French girl with the mask, yeah.
Yeah,
And then they
that
got Bertha and Four Eyes. Yeah. Very cool game.
Spectre, I think, was one of them. Fun game. Now, Jack, I gotta ask you, are you into Resident Evil?
I am not, but I do love the passion the community has. I've seen a lot of the games. I am a big scaredy cat when it comes to horror games. The only one I've kind of played is The Last of Us.
Mhm.
This is my personal favorite, but anything
Good
zombie
game.
or spooky vibes, I'm like, nah.
Okay, I can understand that. Shoot, I told you offline my story. My first experience with Resident Evil. I got kind of shook for a
Hmm.
while, so yeah, I get it. I get it. But with that, guys, we have a stacked episode, a lot to talk about. So I have a fun game for us. This game is called. Well, first off, wait. Before anything, John, I know you've done some cosplay. I've seen a few of your cosplays, and you're a fan of anime, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, okay. And Jack, some people say you're a hero of anime. Would that be correct?
And the 90-second hero of anime, yes.
Okay, 90 second. That's pretty far in the line. Okay, nice, nice. So guys, this game is called Anime Blasphemy. I want you guys to tell me your deep down darkest anime slander. Now, I will say for our listeners, please do not direct any of your hate to our wonderful guests. If anything, direct it to Rudel Poodle. She deserves all of it. But with that being said, I guess I'll go first so you guys could see what I mean. So, mind you, whatever is considered taboo or bad for the anime community, just your hot takes on anime, right?
Ooh.
I was born for
Okay.
this, so I'm good.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm about to get a lot of unfollows. Thanks, man. It's a lot. I'm trying to think of a good lie.
So,
You should get more follows though for the people that love what you said too.
yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
no.
Everyone loves controversy, right?
Yes.
Ooh,
So-
not these fans. Not these fans. All right. Let me hear yours.
Okay.
Jack. I just need to know what temperature
I
y'all
guess
want it at, you know?
Volta goes first. So go ahead,
Yeah.
Volta.
Okay. All right. I'll upset some old school people. Dragon Ball Z. I'm talking about Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. It's kind of mid. I'll be honest. If you watch,
The chat.
if I it's generally mid. Like, don't get me wrong. It's inspirational. There's a lot of things in anime we wouldn't have without Goku transforming and all of that. I get it. But let's be real. If you watch the Boo or Cell Saga, you kind of seen it all. It's all the same thing. Big Invader comes to fight and blow up Earth. Goku gets a new power up. Vegeta's clutching his arm because he can't do it. And yeah, Dragon Ball is kind of and it's long. And it's long too. You guys talk about One Piece being long. No, Dragon Ball Z is long. At least One Piece is for cultured people. And, there's character building there. That's all I'm saying. I said it. Last at me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Jack, I know you're a DBZ fan. Are you triggered, sir? Are you okay?
Not really. I've heard it all as a DBZ fan, so it's just it's another day and in a while, so it's all good.
Okay. And, mind you, I just want to say this before you guys stab me with your pitchforks. It's just my opinion. If you like DBZ, enjoy it. I like it. And I still watch a few things, but it's like I could just skip everything in the middle. I could just watch the final fight and I'm good. And guess what? Goku, he has silver hair now. Watch, he's going to get a new haircut. It's going to be silver with blue highlights or something. But yeah, who wants to go next? Speak your piece.
Go ahead, John. You want to go?
Nope. I would like to hear you, Jack. I would really like to know at what temperature y'all would like this honesty because
We want that Carolina Reaper. We want it extra
Yeah,
spicy.
go for it.
shit.
Because I got another one.
Why don't you go? Oh, you have a second take? Go ahead, tell us
Yeah.
your second take. Because that first one,
Now, this one,
I got
Jack.
a good rebuttal for that.
Jack, we've spoke about this before, out on this anime streets. And so guys, if you don't know, you don't watch the show because I mention it almost every episode. I'm an author. And Bleach story is trash. I don't care what anyone says. Bleach is not big three. It's not top three. It is not. Cry me a river if you think so. The story for Bleach, there are so many plot holes and just random plot armor power-ups. It is trash. No, don't get me wrong. Visuals, beautiful. Music, fire. The concept, the Soul Society and all of that, I love all of that. But the story is hot doo-doo. It is dog water. It is terrible. And I would stand on this hill and fight anyone who comes at me Bleach story is trash. Yeah. It feels good to get that off your chest, don't it? So, Jack, what do you got? What do you got in the chamber, man?
I have two. I'll start with my first one. That's pretty light, but on the flip side of Dragon Ball Z, I personally think my hot take is a lot of people who hate DBZ's hate is misguided because the reason being is that people go, well, the Cell Saga and Frieza Saga all took long. That's because '90s anime did that. Like,
True.
and I love Demon Slayer, but Tanjiro and friends could be the demon in 2 episodes because they have timing, they have pacing, and it's like just like I say with Pokemon, the game is supposed to get better. Like people will go, well, Gen 5 is better than 2, and I'm like, I freaking hope so, because if not, Pokemon wouldn't be in business if it kept being the same stagnant thing. It has to evolve over time, so I feel that way about anime, but I personally think a lot of people say like Dragon Ball Z doesn't have any story or lore. I think the action in it is great. It's based off martial arts, and if Goku gonna be the only thing to save the world, Goku gonna be the only thing to save the world. But it is cool to see it. So that's my first one. That a lot of people that hate DBZ, I look in the mirror because some of their shonens do the same thing. They just do it flashier with better animation and budget. And my second one is I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we need One Piece. Like if One Piece didn't exist, the Earth would still rotate.
Now hold
Like,
on,
I feel
Ace.
like
Hold
you
on,
need-
Ace.
Culturally, you need Dragon Ball Z because like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Bebop influenced the generation. I think Naruto does not get the flowers it deserves for influencing this new generation like Dragon Ball Z did. And I think things like Big O and stuff, Big O fans very underrated. But I think if you just remove One Piece, everything would happen naturally. And Luffy need to find that damn boat or whatever it is.
I'm sorry. What's your ad again, Jack? What's your ad? Because man, rain down fire on this man. No.
Oh God.
The One Piece slander. Okay, you know what? It's okay. It's a-okay because this is a safe zone where we could say whatever's on his chest. Jack, I need to talk to you in the parking lot afterwards, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Hakuna Matata. All right. All right. So yeah, even though it's the best world building in anime, but okay. All right. Things in episode 1 comes back in episode 54 and so forth. Okay, but all right, we'll leave it there. All right. I'm not triggered, I swear. So, Miss Joan of Arcade, what are you cooking? Because it sounds like you're sitting on a bomb. Are you going to say something about Sailor Moon? Are you going to say something about Pokemon? What's it going to be?
That is interesting that you would pick those two animes.
Iconic.
I have a few things to say.
Mm-hmm.
And first, it's going to be my controversial hot takes. And then the second thing I want to say is specifically about Goku and about Goku fans. And then the third thing that I want to say is about anime tropes. And specifically, the animes that inspired the animes we have now. The ones that you watch and you're like, oh, I've seen this before. I know what's going to happen. This is traditional. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the hot take that I would like to say is that One Piece and Bleach, to me, are not good. They are not that good.
Oh my gosh.
Artwork-wise and storyline-wise, I couldn't get into either one, and the episodes are way too long, and I feel like the people who are really into it by now is like a long-term relationship that's bad, where y'all are just in it because you've been in it for so long and you're comfortable with it. But I'm really glad y'all got a decent
My heart.
real-life adaptation. I just don't think that anime transfers over into real life very well. It's more of an art style. It's more of like a culture. Which is why I would have to disagree whenever Jack said that Naruto wasn't one of the animes that inspire all the animes that comes afterwards. If Naruto wasn't so old, I would agree with you. But it came, look at when it came out. That, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, DBZ, Cowboy Bebop, Neon Evangelion. Those are the pillars that every other anime that you've watched, Demon Slayer, Spy Family, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, those tropes look so fucking familiar. One Punch Man is just a big comedy, and it's just all anime tropes, you know? And so
my hair is
when you
turning
see
gold.
all
What is going on?
I'm sorry. The third thing I want to say is Goku fans are like Superman fans, you know? Goku is like the Superman. Superman is DC's, number one favorite, strongest. Everybody always says, well, who would be this guy, this guy? They always say Superman. Goku is like that of anime. Goku is the Superman of anime. So I see him as being the person that they always try to pit another anime main character against to see if you could fight him and stuff. So in that sense, I think DBZ did an important role when it came to installing anime and anime tropes into our minds, and as far as we use as basis of power when we compare them to other animes. And I do understand watching animes and being like, oh my God, I've seen this before. Because, yeah, pretty much all animes have this anime trope in them that's just reused, but it's what makes it, it's what makes it anime. Also,
Yeah.
that's why I like Final Fantasy, because it feels like an anime. Every
Yep.
single story, it feels like an anime. You got the same stereotypical characters, And the only reason that I would put Naruto as one of the pillars is because every time you talk about three's a group, right? You talk about
Yeah.
three main characters of a group. Who are they? Are they the Naruto, the Sasuke, or the Sakura? And you can always put them in those categories. Every three main characters, and it didn't have to start with Naruto because you could look at Yu Yu Hakusho and do the same thing, but you could apply that to pretty much any anime. And just Naruto makes it very obvious, elementary, standard thing. And I have not seen Boruto yet, so
You
I
ain't
don't
missing
have an
much.
opinion on that yet.
You can pass it.
Yeah, you ain't
Oh,
missing
okay.
anything. Okay, so
That's my only thing that I wanted to say.
all right, and
We were in agreement, right, Joan? Because I also you said that I think I said Naruto is a pillar. We were in agreement, right?
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Then we're
yeah. No, Naruto's my second favorite anime. I felt bad because you said disagree. I was like, no. I'm a big Naruto stan.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you said it wasn't, and I was like, oh no, wait.
No. My bad. No.
so
Naruto's my
Alright, then
second
we're
favorite
gonna-
anime.
real quick, a few things because that's first off, this is an open space. It's a safe place, and this is just our opinions, guys. So yeah, if you agree with any of us, hit that like and follow button. And if you disagree, hit that like and follow button out of defiance. But
No.
exactly, let us know in the comments. But with that being said, I do have something I want to say. What you said about One Piece, I get it because I'll be honest. Originally, when One Piece first came out, I did not like the art style. Honest to God, I didn't. But as you know, One Piece, the art style changes up later on, and I just fell in love with it. It's magical, and I like my Naruto as well. And you guys make some good points, but I think all you guys need to do is just sit down, watch a few episodes of One Piece, and you guys would get on board. You'll be like, oh, this is good. One Piece is the apple pie of anime. But you know what? This isn't a hot take, but it's just something I noticed. If you realize each fandom, they usually have a mixed how should I say, a mixed fan base, or there's always some kind of controversy. Have you realized, at least for me, I've never come across someone who has anything negative to say about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I don't know why I can't talk. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I never came across anyone to say anything slanderous about it or bad. It's just like, yeah, this is a good anime. Would you guys agree?
It's top 3 to 5 in anybody's list. It's just iconic.
Yeah, I started collecting the manga. It's pretty good.
Yeah, you see, I don't know what they did, what the formula is, but just everyone love it. Because like if you look at something like My Hero, you have some people who love it, and then you have others who say Deku cry too much. Same thing with Demon Slayer. And it's just like, first off, Deku only cried season 1, so get over it. He got better. He doesn't cry anymore. But
Also, people were giving Deku crap for crying over meeting All Might. If I met The Rock outside right now, I'd cry too. That's my All Might is The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Aw.
literally, yeah. So that's what I mean. Like you'll have these fanboys, quote unquote. They'll be either far left, far right for the anime, but Full Metal, it's just immune to all of it. I don't know what kind of spell it put on, but yeah. But before we go, since we were talking about Naruto, guys, and thank you for being so brave, for putting your opinions out there. I'm sure no one will be upset about it. Jack, we still got to talk in the parking lot. But I do want to ask you guys. Well, first off, Jonah, I can't talk to you in the parking lot. I'll have Rudel talk to you in the parking lot on my behalf about the One Piece slander. With that being said, I want to ask you, since you mentioned Naruto, what village would you guys be repping if you were in the Naruto verse?
Ooh.
I mean,
Uh,
culturally, for me, it's gotta be Cloud, but I really want to be Leaf, but, Cloud is with that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Kazekage for me.
Which one?
Kazekage.
Okay, okay. So I feel torn because I like the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist, so I kind of want to lean there. But then, like you said, Jack, I feel like it's mandatory I go to Cloud. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm gonna have the Akatsuki jacket on anyway, so it really don't matter, does it?
I mean, I'm gonna live in a Leaf, but I'm getting my food and my haircut in the Cloud.
I love it. I love it. But guys, thank you for taking part of this. So with that being said, let's move on to our next topic, and it's the Game Awards 2023. As gamers, we have been just devouring these games. So many games came out, and recently they released the nominees for all the categories, and I just wanted to go over some of them. Now, before we get into it, I just want to ask you, is there any standout game for you guys 100% that you feel is like your personal game of the year? Not overall, because we'll get to that, but just your personal game of the year. Jonah, let's start with you.
My personal game of the year, like a new game that came out that I played
It could be
that I
anything.
was like, oh,
It doesn't have to be new. Just whatever you played this year and you said, yeah, I like
oh.
this game.
Yeah, okay. So the game that I played this year, and don't get mad at me because I know it's an older game,
I'm already mad,
but
but go ahead.
okay.
That One Piece slander, that hit hard. Well, go on.
I had never played Bloodborne before, and I
Oh,
had
okay.
played Bloodborne for the first time, and I was mad at myself because I had not played it sooner. Now, I had played Elden Ring and I had played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. I had never played Bloodborne, and Bloodborne quickly became my favorite one. The atmosphere, the storytelling, the way the combat system works. I could really get lost in that world. And to this day, I'm looking for the DLC, the Hunter's DLC, if I could find a physical copy of that disc.
Okay.
I'm on it. But
That,
yeah, that was my game of the year. Surprisingly, yeah, I can't believe nobody's ever just kidnapped me and forced me to play this game knowing that I would love it so much.
oh my
And I
gosh.
ended up platinuming it. And then that sent me on some kind of rabbit hole of platinuming Soulborne games. So I platinumed Elden Ring and Dark Souls, started on Dark Souls 3.
Wait, you Platinum 3?
No, I have to find all the covenants. That's the hardest part. The
Gotcha.
covenants and the rings.
Uh,
But I platinumed Bloodborne and platinumed Elden Ring.
Okay, okay, nice. I know a lot of people like that. I haven't got into Bloodborne as yet. My plan is to beat all the Souls games on stream. So far, I did beat Dark Souls 3. And I gotta ask you, did you beat The Nameless King?
Yes, I actually have that recorded on my PlayStation Network. I did it with my
Nice.
friend, the Crimson Fox. Shout out to the Crimson Fox.
Hey, shout out to the Crimson Fox. Hey, I tip my hat to you because I'm still struggling against that dude. I'm using a scythe and I'm just like, no, I'm gonna do it with the scythe. But okay, that's a good game. I know a lot of people love Bloodborne. What about you, Jack? Same question. What is your personal game of the year?
So I have like a small game shout out and then my personal game of the year, but I gotta give a shout
Hmm.
out to, in my opinion, the best indie game this year and probably one of the best indie games of all time, Sea of Stars. If you love
Hmm.
any kind of like JRPG or RPGs in general, if you're a big fan of like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy, this game is perfect. The music is beautiful. The artwork is fantastic. I've tweeted at the developers. They've been very sweet to talk back to me and just say thanks for supporting the game.
Oh.
I love this game so much. There is another ending you can get that requires you to do some stuff. I did all that stuff one time where legit 5 hours after streaming, I kept playing this game and I was just like I have the OST soundtracks like on my save list for playlists. It is absolutely great. I love seeing indie games thrive, especially in this era where there's so many different types of ride games. So Sea of Stars, even though it's not my first pick for game of the year, it is my heartwarming pick for now.
Okay.
But to answer your question fully, my game of the year is the one, the only, the iconic Marvel Spider-Man 2.
I knew it.
I will
Yeah.
not, I will not get into spoilers because I know some people are playing it, but I've been a comic book fan since I was in diapers. Pokemon, Sonic, and Marvel were my big three growing up, and I've always loved Spider-Man. He's always been in my top three heroes. to see how both Peter and Miles had their stories done, the symbiote and how it affected people, and then overall the themes of it. Because even though it's a superhero game, it teaches you a lot about life. And for Peter and Miles, they're kind of around like high school, college age slash young adult age. So a lot of their themes kind of hit compared to other video games this year. It is just breathtaking. It's great. I platinumed it. I really want to replay it. I just really think for Marvel to really cook and let a Somniac go 3 for 3 with this is fantastic, and they deserve to be up there with the big kings of gaming because it's breathtaking.
Nice, nice. I know a lot of people are is loving that game, and didn't it get the highest selling Sony game of all time, something like that?
Yeah, 5 million copies already.
Which is ridiculous. And I don't have a PS5. I don't have plans on getting one anytime soon. But I do want to play Spider Man, and I know it's going to come to PC, so I have to wait, unfortunately. But that just goes to show you, I know there's going to be a group of people who's in the same situation that is just waiting for this game to come out on PC so they could play it. But definitely deserved. I enjoyed the first one, and I have a personal goal where I only platinum games that I truly love, and you better believe the first Spider-Man, yeah, I platinum that sucker. So I can't wait for two. But good choices, good choices. As for myself, geez, I played quite a few games this year on stream. Dark Souls 3 was up there for me, but I'm gonna say, I know it's still early, but Baldur's Gate 3. I'm an RPG guy. I love a good story. I love how you could do so much and the game knows what you're doing. They react to you. So, like, good example, if there's a quest giver who has like a special item, quote unquote, and you pickpocket them and you steal the item, sometimes they'll say, "Hey, where's my item? Someone stole it," or like they would literally say it in the story. So it's the small things in that game. It's just an experience. Anyone who's played it knows what I mean. It's a fantastic game. So that is hands down my personal game of the year. And if you guys are interested, Rudel, Poodle, and I are doing a collab of that game together on Twitch. So yeah, definitely give us both a follow. Links will be down below. And you can see our journey through Baldur's Gate. But with that being said, I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. I'm gonna pull up the nominees, and I just want to talk about a few of them here. All right, there we go. You guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yep. So this is the Game Awards main website, and it has all their nominees. And I just wanted to go over a few of them. Some of the big things. I guess sports we could skip unless any of you guys are big sports fans.
You skip it.
That's how I feel. Like,
Loud.
in all honesty, like how I feel about sport games. No hate to anyone who plays sports games, but I feel like mainly they update the roster and that's it. So instead of like making a new, I don't know, a 2K 2014 or whatever. Wow, you know what I mean. 24. Just update that one game. Cause like I do that with the wrestling games all the time. I'm just like, why am I buying a new one when it's just new wrestlers? Just, yeah, that's how I feel. But anyway, I guess let's go into Jack. Since you mentioned Sea of Stars, let's go to RPG. Where is that? And Jack, I will say, when it came to Sea of Stars, I did watch you play a little bit, but just a little bit, and I liked what I saw. The only reason I didn't watch it fully is because I wanted to get it, and I said, darn, I don't want to spoil things. But the music, the little puzzles you had to do, it seemed like a good game. So as you guys can see on my screen here, we have Best RPGs nominated by the Game Awards, and the nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lives of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. What are you guys feeling? Who do you guys think is going to take it? Who do you think deserves it? Because I already said it, I think Baldur's Gate got this easily.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. As much as I've seen some gameplay for Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, I haven't seen any gameplay for Sea of Stars, but like you had mentioned, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you're gonna love it, especially with the music. And I'm like, ooh, I need to check that one out. I haven't seen that one yet. And I saw a little bit of gameplay for Starfield, wasn't that impressed. I mean, it had nice physics in it and stuff. Lies of P was a Soulborn, uh, spiritual game, spiritual successors, not made by the same people, but they're starting to make a bunch of games that are like Lords of the Fallen that are kind of like Soulborn-esque, and I don't know. Final Fantasy 16, really want to get that one. So I haven't played it myself, but I've watched plays of it. And I'd have to say the Baldur's Gate is one of those standout games of the year. A lot of people who don't even game got this game. I didn't even know there was a Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 before this game came out.
Oh yeah, those are
All I know
old
is that,
games.
yeah, I mean, once I heard about this game coming out, I mainly saw it on YouTube. It was a bunch of streamers that never really, they're not big gamers, and they were streaming this because they got to make their own characters, and the characters look really good, and then you could build relationships with your companions, and that was like the number one selling point. So I kind of look at it as like a dating sims, and that was really popular this year, very popular. So I think that one might win a lot of categories for that alone.
Okay. All right. And Jack, what about you?
Heart says Sea of Stars, but my brain says Baldur's Gate 3. And, I think all of these games are really great in this category. I think it's a really tough one, but ideally, I really think, even if I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, a lot of my mods and friends have, I've seen, like, how much detail and passion the team has put into this game, and for it to, like, be the definite game of the year by a lot of people in terms of a lot of categories is really cool. So I think it's definitely going to be a strong contender and win for Baldur's Gate 3, but it does warm my heart to see Sea of Stars get nominated.
Yeah, and especially it's Sea of Stars is indie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big accomplishment. Hope more eyes get on it. Me personally, I feel like over the years, RPG, that term has been used real loosely. Cause Starfield, like, I championed that game so hard, but it didn't really elevate too much. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. I enjoy it. But I just think of it as an action game. I really don't consider it like a RPG. It has RPG elements, sure, but it doesn't make it an RPG. Halo in Halo, good example. Halo, you could drive a car in it. It's not a racing game. That's how I feel about Starfield, Lives of P. It's like, But
You think they just needed more to just put on there?
No, I mean, like, I don't know why they're considered RPGs. That's
Yeah,
just.
I agree with you.
But to each their own. I guess I'm used to the JRPGs more so than the Western, and Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely more Western, and that's what I consider an RPG compared to
Right.
Starfield, which is just you're walking and shooting. But regardless, I still like Starfield. I enjoyed it. All great games up here. I haven't played Sea of Stars. That is on my list. Final Fantasy 16. When that comes to PC, yeah, 100% I'm going to get that. I know 16 had a lot of hype, but it kind of died down because it seems like it's mixed. Some people didn't like the shift to action, but I think Baldur's Gate got it, hands down. With that being said, let's move on to the next category. Jack, give me a category.
I am actually going to look at Best Independent Game.
Best Independent. Good call, good call. All right, Best Independent. That's independent. Let's see. I swear I just went through this. Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go. Right where my cursor was. Okay, so Best Independent Game. The nominees are Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Hey, Sea of Stars up there twice. So with this group of games, I'll be honest, I've only heard of two of them, Dredge and Sea of Stars. I'm not familiar with the others.
Really? I've heard of Dave the Diver and Sea of Stars, and only Sea of Stars today.
Wait a minute, you know what? I did see Dave the Diver.
Yeah, that got some controversy because it's technically not an indie game. And it got nominated.
Oh,
for
it's
it.
not? Oh,
No,
I didn't even know that.
it's funded. I forgot what company, but there were a lot of gaming journalists on my timeline like legit upset about that because it's not an indie game. It's like it's a great game, it's fantastic. Like I think it was a Pizza Castle or something like that. They said would have been a good choice to nominate that didn't make it instead of Dave the Diver, and Dave the Diver could have been for a different category.
Yeah, sometimes it's questionable why some games get selected and some don't. All right, so Jack, since you picked this category, what are you thinking? Who do you think is taking it this year?
Yeah, S.T.A.R.S got nominated for a lot, and it's gonna win a couple. But this is the one slam dunk that if it doesn't win, like I might just like put the ending stream logo up and call it a night on Twitch because I'm gonna be like sad because I really just think I forgot how much it sold, but they were saying it broke so many records and the team is super passionate about it, and it's like all of these games are fantastic. I've seen gameplay of Cocoon; it's really good. It's very like an interesting style game. Not
Mm-hmm.
my type of game, but the artwork is beautiful. I've seen people play Viewfinder; it's really great. Dave the Diver is fantastic, even though it may not fit that indie game category. It's good. I have not heard of Dredge. I haven't heard of that one, but I mean, personally, I praise Sea so much, but I really think in terms of like Hades did and Celeste did and Spelunky did in their past, I think Sea is like the indie game that people will see as one of the top ones.
Okay. So to replace Dave the Diver, who would you put in that spot?
Yeah, honestly, it's a fighting game that's newer. I think what may have heard it is only out on Steam. There's a game called Pocket Bravery that came out, and it's done by a diverse team. I believe they're based in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fighting game, and it's fantastic. I think they should have got the nod because they've been working on that game for a long time, and it would have really been cool to see them in there.
Okay. Okay. Now, Joan, what about you? Have you played any of these games? Who do you think is gonna take it if you have?
Not played any of them, and I only recognize Dave the Diver and Sea of Stars. So I don't think I have a strong enough opinion on this subject. But I would like to see more of Sea of Stars. I'm liking the artwork. You know, I like
Mm-hmm.
anime. I love Final Fantasy, and if the music is also good, that is another reason why I love Final Fantasy. I
Okay.
would probably check it out, you know. So is that available for Steam, PlayStation, Switch,
All the
Sea of
above.
Stars?
Yeah.
All the above. Okay, cool,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, because I know I want to get it for Switch. I want my Switch to be my RPG machine. But
I
I
love
feel
that game so much. I have it digital on PS5 and physical on Switch coming next year.
nice, nice.
Okay, yeah, I need more Switch games.
The artwork looks beautiful too. I gotta get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's been so much games this year. My backlog is insane. But okay, so it looks like we all want the same thing. See stars. So Joan, your turn. Give me a category.
Ooh, let's see. Best multiplayer.
Best multiplayer. All right, without
Third
no,
row, second to the last. There you go.
got it. All right, without seeing it, Final
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy 14 better be on there. That's all I'm saying. Multi,
Ooh,
disappointed.
Oh,
But
okay,
oh, hold on. We got some good ones here. Hold on now.
okay.
All right. So John, this is your category. What do you think? Well, before anything, let me say the nominees because we have Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I'll be honest right away off the back. If I don't own these games, they are games that I want. Actually, two of them I don't own, but they're on my list to pick up. But John, what are you thinking? What do you think deserves Game of the Year here?
Well, I could pretty much guarantee that Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to win this category, even though I own Diablo 4 and I'm enjoying Diablo 4 because I enjoyed Diablo 1 so much and it's
Mm-hmm.
very nostalgic and it kind of has that same feeling. You need to go back to Tristram and they have the Tristram theme you can listen to, which is one of the best musical pieces of older video games, I would say, and one of my first hardcore PC games to get into.
Okay.
And I've seen party animals being streamed by people who don't traditionally play video games either. T-Pain streamed it the other night, and it
Huh.
was so funny. He had so many different characters, and I was asking if this was for PlayStation 5, but unfortunately it's just for PC for right now. I did see some people playing Street Fighter 6, but as far as fighting games go, which was my second choice to pick, I would say that I think the Mortal Kombat 1 is probably gonna be a better fighting game until Tekken comes out. And to
Mm.
be honest, I haven't seen the Super Mario Brothers Wonder, so I don't really have an opinion on that.
Well, it's a good thing you haven't watched it because Jack has been streaming it. Well, you finished it, right?
yeah, I finished.
Are you going? Well, you know what? You could watch Jack stream. You could check out his VOD, Mr. Anime Hero 92. Check him out. He plays it. Okay. Which one? So you think Baldur's Gate is gonna take it?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. It's just it was such a popular game, like I said, across the board for hardcore gamers and casual gamers alike. A lot of people stream this game because of the control that you can have over the world. It's like watching a movie, but you get to write it as it goes, and you have to accept the consequences as is, and some of them are hilarious.
Well deserved game. Deserves all its praise. All right. So Jack, what are you saying here? What's best multiplayer in your eyes?
There's a lot of great contenders in this one. My honest vote, I would go with on the fighting game side of Street Fighter 6 because I think it's the best fighting game this year. But also, like, even when I play fighting games online, it could be you could roll a dice and you could have like a potato garbage that you're fighting somebody with in terms of connection, and you're basically in the Matrix. Like you can go make yourself a cup of coffee, read a bedtime story, find a show on Netflix before your character lands a punch to somebody who's using Wi-Fi, like arena Wi-Fi. But Street Fighter Six multiplayer is really good. It links you up really quick. You can set up lobbies and rooms, and the cool thing about it is like what I find awesome that a lot of fighting games do is like Street Fighter sets the tone for new fighting games. Tekken, Mortal Kombat, back in the day, Marvel versus Capcom, which I missed, and all these other games. They kind of looked at what Street Fighter did, and it was like, oh, we're gonna take elements of that, make it our own, but you guys set the tone for what happens next. And six did that. I mean, you see the lobby rooms have been awesome. You can pick like one, like room 0 to room 999, and fight in a room, or you can have a private room. You can link offline. Like it is so much to it that I remember I spent like 6 hours on multiplayer, and I didn't even touch the story for like a month. So that gives you how good the online is. So I love this game. The only thing I don't like is the people who play Guile and one and done. You stopped me from getting Silver Ring for a month. I'm still salty about it as a Cammy man.
Wait, oh, that's right. That's right. You know what? We haven't fought in that in a long time. We gotta have a
Yeah.
fight. Yeah, because you main Cammy, I main Marissa. So yeah, we gotta let the gals duke it out again. I gotta get back into Street Fighter. So out of all these games, first off, they're all fantastic. And as I mentioned, there's only two I don't own, which is Super Mario Wonder and Party Animals. But both of them I want. Party Animals, if you haven't played it before, guys, listeners, it's like Gang Beasts, but more to it. It's just ridiculous. It's funny. It's just a good time. And I feel like it's one of those games where, let's say if you have a gathering and you have people who's not gamers but they want to play something, it's a good intro game. You know, like yeah, let's just jump on it. Kind of like Mario Party or Mario Kart. You don't need to be a gamer, quote unquote, to play. But out of all these games, I feel like Baldur's Gate, because there is so much you could do in multiplayer. You could just mess up your friends completely. And as I mentioned before, Rudel and I were doing a co-stream of that. We're playing through the game, and yeah, already we've been through some stuff where I'm in the middle of just like looking through my inventory, and she would just smack me with a fireball or something, and it's like, what happened to my HP? And yeah, it's been a hilarious time. So I will say Diablo had a lot of traction going for it at the beginning of the year, but it just seems like everyone hates Blizzard now. It's like the cool thing to do or whatever. So the fans quickly turned on Diablo, and I get it. There's some issues with it, the XP grinding and what have you. So I think that kind of soured people's taste a bit. But otherwise, I would say Diablo is a good contender because, like, when I look at multiplayer, they're all strong. But playing with Diablo with a friend is really fun. And John, I gotta ask you, since you're a Diablo fan as well,
Yes,
what class did you go with? Just out of curiosity.
I'm a druid.
Okay, okay, respect
Equal
it.
parts magic slash willpower and physical strength. I am such a badass too. I could do a werebear and a werewolf. I got the crows that follow me around. I could do the hurricane. It's nice. I feel invincible. And yeah, playing with a friend, that's what's made it so great is having somebody to dungeon crawl with. My friend's a sorcerer, so they got the I'll stay at the back and protect myself and shoot, projectiles, and I have all the stuff that's crowd control and that's, stops them, disables them from moving around and does extra damage and, you know, I've been loving Diablo. Like this one has felt more like the first one. And when I was little and that was my first PC game, I didn't play online. I didn't play with anybody else. I didn't have anybody to play with. It was just by myself, click and kill, you know? And I
Mm-hmm.
got it for the 5 and I love it. It's really nice. But I do understand, I do see the problems that are there, and that's another reason why I don't think it'll win the best multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But it has been great. It has been the one that I have experienced of the list.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun game. I fell off it just because there's so much games to play, and it's just I keep saying I got to go back, but I'm enjoying it. And oh geez, when I first met the butcher, that's a whole nother story. But guys, moving on. Since we mentioned fighting, we're going to best fighting game. Okay, and now the why is this here? Okay, so the nominees are God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery. Okay, that's the one you mentioned, and Street Fighter 6. I'll tell you right now, ain't no way Nickelodeon is coming close to the top. I'm just saying that off the top. I feel like it's gonna be between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and I just think between the two, it's just down to personal taste in your fighting game. I've played Mortal Kombat a lot growing up as a kid. I had it on the Sega Genesis. Yes, I'm showing my age, but I was always more of a Street Fighter guy. I was used to the quarter circles. I don't like having to hold a button to actually block. It's just the controls in Street Fighter. I liked it more than the combo system in Mortal Kombat. So I've always been more of a Street Fighter slash Marvel vs. Capcom guy. Me personally, I think it's between those two. And yeah, Street Fighter is just a big name. There's a lot of legacy that goes behind it to the point where if you're not a gamer, you ask a casual person, they would chances are they know who Ryu or Chun Li is, or they know what a Hadouken is without even being a gamer. So I think it's Street Fighter. Jack, you're a residential fighting game person. What's your takes on it?
One of those games has Cameron, the other one doesn't. So Street Fighter by 50 wins.
Man of
On a serious
culture.
note, on a serious note though, you know, I actually think Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl does have a good chance, not to win, but I
What?
think it'll be third. Yeah, All Stars Brawl 2 is really good. Like it enhanced everything about the first one. The story mode is engaging. Like I was playing the story mode for 4 hours. The only thing I don't like is if you lose, you got to go back to the previous mode and fight the boss and then advance. And I was like, who decided that? But I'll let that slide because it's fun. I don't know what God of Rock is, but it seems like it's good.
Looks
My
like
only
it
thing with
rocks.
MK is that, yeah. Only thing with MK though is that Switch version gonna hurt it a little bit. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
as much as I like one, and I think it takes a step forward, I got to give it to Street Fighter because I think the roster is a bit more unique in terms of like the fighters. I think they did a good job of adding some new faces and some old faces, and I think what won the story was decent. But I really like what they did with Street Fighter. Like I think just, and also the fact there's so many copies and it really like blew up. Like so, I got to give it to Street Fighter, but I think MK1 did well.
So let me ask you. Okay, so I'm sure we could all agree that Nickelodeon All Stars, the first game, it needed some more time in the oven. It needed a lot more polishing. So do you think two redeems it? Do you think it could stand toe to toe with other fighting games now?
I think so. I think my only beef is they removed Toph, which is a crime against like life. Like that was my main and my favorite
Oh,
character. Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, what? I mean, I'm a Jimmy Neutron and Gerald main, so it worked out. But Toph, like I was making people rage quit online. I have clips of it,
I
so I missed
love
that.
Toph.
She's
She is
so
my
dope. She's
favorite
my
character.
favorite.
My favorite Avatar, Last
Look at
Airbender
that.
character of all
Look at
time.
this
Earth
group.
Tribe, let's go.
Yes, yes.
Look at us. I think it'll do well. I think it's getting more traction to one. You know, I think a lot of people's like, it's not Smash. And I'm like, yeah, nothing's going to be Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Smash is Smash. It's going to be its own thing. But this
Hmm.
against multiverses and other stuff, I think will do well.
And to be fair, okay, it's similar to Smash, but for everyone who compares it to it, you're just setting it up to fail because you're comparing it to the best. If there's nowhere to
Hmm.
go, then
Yeah.
down. So
They shouldn't have put Brawl in the title, and we should have Pharaoh.
shoot, I can't argue that. But last thing I'll say real quick about it though, Jack, I don't care what you say. You can't defend this at all. I saw a video of all the supers in the game. What did they do, man? Because those supers aren't it. Like Team Avatar, all the Avatar people, they're supers. It's so lame. Why?
To be honest, the matches are so quick. I've seen a couple supers that I use, but like you just gotta defend against Patrick. Like Patrick be throwing people off cliffs. I legit had an NPC Patrick. I did a free fall. He grabbed XJ9, jumped over me, and threw off the cliff, and I won the match. And it was a level 9 CPU, and I was like, that is an amiibo. I'm not fighting that.
I only question the roster. Like they have all the building blocks there, but they took out Helga. They have Gerald, but where's Arnold? What's your beef with Football Head? But Joan, we're gonna move to you. Who do you think is gonna take this for a fighting game? Do you have any of these games? Do you enjoy fighting games? What's your thoughts?
Like, this is just my personal opinion.
Uh-oh.
But I think that Mortal Kombat 1 might get it this
Okay.
year. I did see some of the new Street Fighter 6 characters and designs, costumes, and I watched all of Mortal Kombat 1 online on YouTube, and I watched my friends screen share. They play it. They play it hard and heavy. I love the fact that Jean-Claude Van Damme's face model and his voice, like he did his own
Oh
voice, is
yeah.
one of the Johnny Cage skins you can get, along with Megan Fox being one of the character skins, and the whole time travel thing, the whole multiverse thing. I thought the storyline was good up until the end. I think they got a little lazy with the writing. You know, the last hour, 20 minutes of the game is, they could have done better, especially with how the storylines have been laid out in prior games. I would be interested in seeing them do a Shaolin Monks remake. I think that would be really nice to have a nice multiplayer Mortal Kombat game again,
Oh, that sends me back.
besides a
Shaolin
fighting
Monks.
one.
Okay, okay. I didn't even know Megan Fox was in the game. Yeah, and I think that's perfect opinion, no hate. Like I said, I feel like a lot of people it's just what you grew up with. If you're a Street Fighter fan or Mortal Kombat fan or even Tekken fan cuz they're all three great. They're just
And
separate.
I grew up with Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, SNK, Super Marvels or Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter for PlayStation 1 specifically. That was such a good game. Um, but I'm a Tekken person though. I am a Tekken.
Okay.
That's the money that
Nice.
I'm gonna put into Nina Williams. That's my girl. I
Oh,
Ooh,
will
good
get
choice.
that,
Good
oh,
choice.
and I love her. And I've always loved Tekken. I've always loved its campiness, its weirdness, um, its little side mini games. So I'm kind of waiting for the new one to come out. I kind of wish it was out already so it could be on this list with these two other great, uh, historically awesome franchises. But I'm kind of glad that it doesn't have to compete with these two, and maybe it'll be on its own list next year.
I
They're
can't
just gonna
wait
give
for
the
it.
award to Tekken next year.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
Smart.
anything is gonna stand. Wait a minute. Wait, nope. If a Marvel versus Capcom game comes
Oh
out,
yeah, that's a different story.
Ooh, that would
that
be a different story.
yeah.
I'll make it 3 times the vote.
A shout out to all the Oscar mains. I love my Tekken. Yeah. So Joan, whenever you get
Kingman
it,
stand up.
I'm sorry. What?
King Main stand up.
I can't even fault you because I like King, and King in
Mm,
8
yeah.
looks amazing. I can't wait to get grabbed and then put down the controller. I can't wait for it.
The combos just
Yeah,
keeps going.
it's gonna be over. All right.
I learned that Kunamitsu one. Kunamitsu for Tekken
Mm-hmm.
Tag Tournament.
Yeah.
That one was hard. Learning those combos where she just does the somersaults and just keeps going.
Now I just want to say, based off that, and I know what combo you're talking about. I don't hate you for that. I hate you for that One Piece slander. I will not let that down. But with that being
I
said,
knew it was gonna be bad. I knew.
I just want to go over a few more real quick. Let's see, what's a good one? You know what? How about we definitely got to get Game of the Year in there, but I think we could. You know what? Most anticipated.
Ooh, let's go.
All right, guys. Most anticipated. Oh my Gosh, this is stacked.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh no.
here we go. So the nominees for most anticipated game is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Dang, I feel like that got it right away. Hades 2. Oh, that's a big one. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Jeez, all these games have a huge following behind them, and all well deserved. All right, Joan, let's start with you. What are you thinking? Who do you think is gonna take it?
That Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm waiting on that. End of February, February 28th. I already know. I know I just said that I was a Tekken fan, but Tekken can wait. Rebirth cannot.
She got it locked.
I'm gonna instantly get it. Yeah, pre-ordered. I'm ready. I got my hands out right now, just waiting for it to drop. It's gonna be amazing. I have gone back over Crisis Core Reunion and the Yuffie DLC and 7 Remake, and I've watched YouTube videos to just like refresh my memory of Dirge of Cerberus and watching the Advent Children CGI movie. I absolutely love Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy VII, this Rebirth, it's going to be amazing, especially they bring my boy Zack back.
There you go. I'm so curious about that story. I'm looking forward to this. Now, Jack, I want to ask you, why did you choose Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
Here's the thing. First of all, Game Awards, I don't appreciate you putting kings and queens against each other. This is stacked.
Yes.
Lineup, and I like all of these, but it's tough. I do have to pick one, but I will say I have taken off of work for one already, and that is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because I have a blue suit I'm going to wear. I'm going to order some flowers, going to get a nice haircut, because I have a date with Miss Tifa Lockhart. We are going to get blueberry pancakes. Going to be beautiful. I got everything set. Got the whole day ready. Whatever she wants, she will get, because I cannot wait to be back with the entire crew and all of that. Like, it just is beautiful. Like, when I saw the chocobo fly, when you walk into the grasslands and it's not pixelated, like, I shed a thug tear from my eye seeing that. And I just for a preference, I got into Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy in general last year. That's how iconic this game is from the cover. I can't wait to beat up Sephiroth. I'm letting you know right now, Sephiroth. It's hands and feet when I see you making that cliff, what you did. So, yeah, I can't wait. Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I forgot about that fact, Jack, because, we spoke about that before you played 7 Remake. But yeah, so obviously I'm the same way. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan as well. I got to go with 7 Rebirth. It looks amazing. It looks like we are getting an open world. I'm going to be able to play Red 13. I love Red 13. I always called him Red X when I played the game. I always changed his name to Red X. But I am looking forward to it. This is a stacked list. If this is a glimpse of next year, it's going to be a repeat of this year. But I do gotta ask, and don't get me wrong, Tifa's nice, but the changes they made to Jessie, I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna officially say best girl. I'm gonna throw it out there. I have to. I'm sorry. I love her personality in this, compared to original 7. But I do want to ask you guys on a side note, when it comes to the story, and obviously there's been changes to the FF7 story, we see that Zack is here. Spoiler warning for the original 7, guys. So yeah, real quick, Zack is here. He wasn't there in the original. Now, we all know this part of the game, one of the characters meets their end. And my question to you, do you think they're going to swap the person who dies? Instead of who, it's going to be the other one. What are your thoughts, guys? No?
They better not. I'll just quit the game if that happened. But no, but I do think someone will get the big guy, and it may be the person you referenced earlier. I think it's going to be that instead.
Because I feel like that person who dies, I'm trying to keep it spoiler free even though it's a whole game. The person who dies in the original, we're all expecting it. We're all tensing up. Anyone who's played the game, we're like, oh no, this is when they bite it. So how much of a swerve would it be if they're like, no, that person's okay, but your buddy in the back, oof, you shouldn't have put material on them. I feel like they could do it. Will they? Will they not? All I'm saying is, well, first off, Joan, what do you think? Do you think, trying trying to keep it spoiler free. Do you think they're gonna switch who dies in this?
Yes, I think they're going to switch everything. Final Fantasy Remake was about them remaking the story of Final Fantasy VII and not really even looking at Final Fantasy VII Remake as a remake of 7, but its own separate story in the multiverse of a, you know, of a multiverse thing. And I think Rebirth's going to deal with 3 different multiverses. It's going to deal with, I guess what could have happened, what did happen, and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think in that way, it could reference bringing Zack back. It could reference certain people not meeting their end the same way, maybe different people, something happening to them. Spoiler alert for Remake, whenever Barrett was attacked at the end, remember? We all were
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, that's
Yeah.
not supposed to happen. But then they were the arbiters of fate were like, hold on, that's not supposed to happen. Let us do this and do that. But at the end of Remake, you defeated the arbiters of fate and you walked through that portal, and Aerith looks at y'all and she says, if we walk through there, everything changes. Everything will be different. And we go anyway. We entered into another world at that point. Another timeline. It could have been this way. And I think in this new timeline that our characters are in, Zack is still alive. He made it out this one. Because at the end, they show him kind of walking past her, and then you see Stamp, and it's a different type of dog. So it's like a multiverse thing. And I see a lot of things, Marvel and even Mortal Kombat 1 dealing with multiverse stuff, and I think it's a really cool concept, like a what if.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe Zack might become a playable character. My only request, literally my only request, is that without spoiling it, I feel like we thought some characters in 7 Remake died, but they didn't. But traditionally, those characters did die in the first one, but didn't in Remake. So all I'm saying is, the people of that group who did die, bring them back, please. All I'm saying is, I was owed a pizza. That's all I'm saying. I want my pizza.
You're gonna see the portal pop open and Doctor Strange will say hi. You'll be
That's all I want. Okay, guys. So before we end, I just want to go over these 2 last ones. So for action games, the nominees are Armored Core. What's that, 4? I'm bad with Roman numerals. But Armored Core 4, Dead Island, huh?
It's 6.
6. That's what I said, 6. I'm not wrong. I'll edit it out. Armored.
Exactly what you said.
Yes. Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. I look at this list, and I think these are all good games in their own right. And a lot of them I want, but in actuality, all of these I legit passed on because it's just, I didn't have time, or it's like, I need to hit my backlog. But all of these at one point I wanted. So, how do you guys feel about this, Jack? Is there any game here that you feel stands out that deserves to be best action game?
I'll be honest, I didn't play any of them, but I did watch someone play Hi-Fi Rush, and I think it's like a very creative style game. The artwork is beautiful in it, and if I owned the Xbox, I would be very interested in it. So I would probably give the nod to that. I think Armored Core and Dead Island definitely could make some noise. They have a good fan base, but Hi-Fi Rush would get my vote.
If you could get one of these games right now, like let's say one of your viewers wanted to gift it to you, which one would you pick?
Hi-Fi Rush in a heartbeat.
Gotcha. I think it's still on Game Pass. I don't know do you have Game Pass? Because they have that available.
Yeah.
Yeah, so check that out. I think it might be on there. So Remnant 2 is, it looks good. Because I played the first one and that was amazing. But I'll probably go with Armored Core. Now, Joan, what about you? Have you tried any of these games? Do you think any game here is going to take it for best action game?
Well, I've only seen my friends share screen Dead Island 2 when that came out because, we're all zombie killers. All my friends are zombie killers, and they liked it, the first-person aspect. It kind of reminded them of Back 4 Blood, but a little bit more adventurous and kind of like those Dawn of the Dead movies. I think that's Lenny Kravitz, too. You get to, be him in the movie, or not in the movie, the game. Armored Core, Fires of Rubicon. I've never played an Armored Core game, but like I was saying, I was going through and platinuming the the Soulborne games because I really enjoyed From Software's just style of how they were doing their stuff. Then I saw that the Armored Core Rubicon, Fires of Rubicon was coming out, and I saw some of the gameplay for it, and I was like, wow, this is kind of like Soulborne, but with mecha. And I used to play Zone of Enders, but I've never played,
Oh,
one
great
of
game.
these Armored Core games. Yeah, Zone of Enders for PlayStation 2. The soundtrack was so good. The game was so fun. And so I thought, ooh, if this is like that, but with the same level of difficulty and challenging aspect of the Soulborne games, I'm so down to clown in this game. So if I had to pick one, that would be the one that I would get.
Okay, okay. Yeah, these are, like I said, these are all cool games. Ghost Runner, for anyone who's not familiar, it's pretty much your Genji from Overwatch. Enjoy. It looks it looks fun. But yeah, I'd probably go with Armored Core because I like mecha games, and I feel like there's been a gap in that's been left for mecha games because the last mecha game I played that I really enjoyed was Chrome Hounds. Shout out to anyone who remembers that old game. But yeah, I need a mecha game, so maybe Armor Core is it. But great categories. Now, before we go to Game of the Year, that's what we're all waiting for to talk about Game of the Year. But before we jump to that, is there any game that's coming out that you guys are really looking forward to? I know we mentioned Tekken before, we mentioned Final Fantasy, but is there any game at all that was announced that's like, oh, that's a shoo-in for next year?
Helldivers 2, if you've ever heard of that
Yes.
game.
Yes.
Okay, my friend Mike, shout out to M19J88G 999 Becky Boo from the Resistance community. But my friend Mike, he's played the Helldivers series and he likes it. And so he is telling me, keeps telling me this game's coming out in February. He's looking forward to it, looking forward to it. I was like, look, prior to Rebirth coming out, you got me. But after Rebirth comes out, you've lost me. I'm gonna be somewhere else doing something else.
Now,
Final Fantasy related.
did you play the first Helldivers?
I have not, but I've watched some gameplay and also playing through Diablo. He was watching me and he had never played through Diablo and he was like, "Wow, this kind of reminds me of Helldivers, kind of like a dungeon crawler, kind of like this kind of camera angle." He said there is friendly fire though, and that's
Yes.
always hilarious in games.
It okay. Helldivers, I feel like it's one of those that's a hidden gem. It's indie. It's so much fun. Playing that with a group of friends, and yes, the friendly fire is like one of the main aspects of the game because it's pretty much what you call it, not a bullet hell game, a twin stick shooter, kind of like that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a twin stick shooter, and it gets chaotic like Diablo, where it's just enemies all over the screen, and you're just trying to stay alive, and friendly fire's on, and that's part of the fun. So, like, let's say if you need to get ammo for your weapon, or you want to call in a mech or something, you have to literally enter like a combination on your controller, like up down, left right, whatever, and then it's
Oh
going to
wow.
yeah. And mind you, got to do this full combo mid battle, like in the middle of like a Diablo battle, and then it drops down a pod, and you have to go and claim your item. Anyone could claim it, and you're all working together. But sometimes you drop down a pod, it might crush somebody, and it's like, oh crap, I killed my friend when I was trying to get a bigger gun. It's crazy, it's chaotic. I recommend it highly if you haven't played it. It's I know it's all on PlayStation. It's probably on Xbox and PC. It's on PC for sure. Probably on Xbox as well. But number two, it looks like the exact same thing. The only difference is instead of being top down, they went with over the shoulder third person. But I'm looking forward to that game as
Interesting.
well. But yeah, Jack, what about you? Is there any game, like I said, I know we talked about Final Fantasy and Tekken, but is there any game that you think is a shoo-in for next year or something that you're personally looking forward to?
There's two quick ones. The first
Mm-hmm.
one is a game that's very near and dear to my heart. A certain mutant is getting a game and has been teased and is gonna fight the Hawk. And when I see those reclaws on screen, I'm gonna lose my mind. I just need a release date, which I'm assuming we're gonna get at the Game Awards. I think Insomniac, along with some other companies, are gonna make some big announcements, and I think we're gonna see the clause, and then we'll reveal the release date once it cuts, which would be awesome.
Which it
So
cuts. I see what you
yeah,
did.
I am a summer baby. I was born in July, so that would be a great release. But My smart money and investment money, if I'm looking at Sony, is a fall release for that, for it to be its fall game. Possibly spring, but I think fall because Insomniac's been cooking for a while. I can see that being mid to late 2024. But a game that I know is going to break records and get people talking is of the Grand Theft Auto variety, and let's just say I cannot wait to
Yeah.
be back for that one because there's going to be a lot of things done in GTA 6, and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Dang. And I'm calling it right now. We're gonna get a trailer at the Game Awards, but then
Yep.
at the same time, Rockstar just does their own thing. Like they don't need it because it's Rockstar. But yeah, I still think we might get a trailer at Game Awards. I completely forgot about the Wolverine game. Now I'm torn because GTA, Wolverine, Final Fantasy. I'm telling you, this
You know, what
is
would be nice
what's that?
is if they showed at this Game Award trailers for the upcoming games that are coming out, but if they actually ended up announcing a release date for Silent Hill 2 remake and
Okay,
Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remake.
let's
Because
go.
I don't know why they are popping those out. They're skipping the other names, going straight to my favorite one, so I'm really hoping they don't mess that up.
So far we are eating good as gamers.
Hmm.
They, I'm gonna be an old man for a sec. These kids, they don't get it. We grew up with gaming droughts. That is not a thing. We are eating good these days. So next year is going to be great. So lastly, guys, to finish up the pod, I wanted to talk about game of the year. That's why we're all here. Great contenders. I'm kind of surprised a little bit by some, but here we go, guys. Game of the year. The nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. All right, Jack, let's start off with you. Who do you think is taking Game of the Year?
So I'm going to use logic on this one because that's what I got to go with. There's a lot of passion in this, and I want to say kudos to all of these games. They're absolutely outstanding and they're really well done. But my heart says Spider-Man, my brain says Baldur's Gate 3. I think as great as Spider-Man is, the Baldur's Gate community has been very passionate, and rightfully so. It is a wonder of a game, and you got to give flowers when credit's due. This game is outstanding. I personally never played it, but watching people play it is fun. The dialogue is funny. The characters are cool. I've even watched clips online, and while it's not my style of game, there is just like it did predecessors before it. Last year we had Elden Ring versus God of War Ragnarok, which was like two giants duking it out and one giant standing tall, and you just tip your cap to the other one. But I think in a different year, you can also throw in Tears of the Kingdom as well, and like as a giant itself, too. But I really just think if it comes down to it, that Baldur's Gate Tears of the Kingdom battle is going to be epic at the end. But I think Baldur's Gate is going to get it.
Okay, interesting. Jones, same question. Who do you think is going to take it?
Um, Honestly, I should
Watch One
say
Piece.
what my favorite. What was that I meant?
Go on, I'm sorry.
I would say, Resident Evil 4 because the remake was really good. I'm really enjoying Capcom's remake selection of all their games. Like I said, I wish they would go and remake Code Veronica or at least give us an Outbreak remake. That would be great. And also, I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan. I have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I have never played Tears of the Kingdom yet because, just like you, I have a long backlog of games that I need to play. I know Baldur's Gate was insanely popular this year, but I would say it was had to be between Baldur's Gate and Marvel Spider-Man 2 because I've seen some scenes from Spider-Man 2, just some like side quests and stuff you could do. And let me just say, no other game on this list made me choke up, made me like cry a little bit,
Well, don't spoil it because I
Spider-Man
haven't seen
2,
it.
I don't even think that was part of the main story. I was just like, you didn't have to hurt me like that,
Oh
Instagram
yeah, I know what you're
reels.
talking about.
You know the part, yeah. Howard, is it Howard?
Oh, wait, hold on. What? No, don't spoil it. Don't. I don't need to hear.
All I know is that I think it might win best storyline, best drama, best, you know what I mean? Because like It really is immersive. And my friends who live in New York said that they did a really good job with the map. They could find their work and they could just pop, spider webs all over it. Go web their work. So I hear that the map's pretty cool in that. So I think if it would have been out a little bit longer, it would definitely be recognized more for what it's worth. But I think even if it doesn't win the best game, it will win the best storyline because it has a really great storyline.
So, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I hear you could go to Brooklyn. So, I'm really curious to see because I think they did a fantastic job of Manhattan. So, I need to see Brooklyn. I need to see Flatbush in there. I need to see the Junction. I need to see. So, just like you, Jack, I'm looking at it logically. And when it comes down to it, I think it comes down to 3 games. First off, all the games deserve to be here. I'm surprised to see Super Mario, to be honest with you. It looks fantastic. I want it, no shade. But I think it comes down to 3 games. And that's Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man, and Zelda. I love Resident Evil. I haven't had time to play the remake as yet. But I feel like because it's... sorry. It's a remake. It's an existing game. I don't think it's going to take the spot. So that's why I think it's between those 3. And personally, I want Baldur's Gate, but I feel like as good as it is, it's still considered niche. First off, it's an RPG. So mainly RPG people play RPGs, right? And even then, in the RPG community, you have some people who they don't like the top-down perspective. They don't like that aspect of it. Some people don't like turn-based, or some people may just like the JRPG style of things. So as much as I like it, and it has a lot of praise, it's still a top contender. In my mind, I really think it comes down to Zelda and Spider-Man. Because you got to look at it like this. As good as Baldur's Gate 3 is, what is a casual person, someone who's not a dedicated gamer, what are they quicker to pick up? And for that, I gotta say Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man's gonna take it. And it's been selling. It looks like a fantastic game. I've been avoiding spoilers. I love the first one so much, and if it just improves on the first one, yeah, I think it has it. But like I said, all these games, they deserve to be up here. But I do think Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man 2, and Tears of the Kingdom is gonna be a triple threat match, guys. It's a Hell in a Cell triple threat match, and I think Spider-Man is coming out on top just by a hair. But guys, it's been fantastic having you on here. With that being said, I want you guys to tell all the good listeners here who, of course, they obviously followed the channel by now. But guys, tell them where they could find you. What are you doing? What are you up to? Let's start off with Jack. Where can we find you, man?
So you can best find me on Twitch at AnimeHero92. I'm currently doing a couple different projects, but I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, and let me tell you how that game is awesome. I regret not playing it earlier because a game is great when you dream about it. So that happened yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So I cannot wait to play more of it tomorrow. And I'm also I have a wrestling show called All Ambitious Wrestling. We are doing our Civil War pay-per-view happening today, which is going to be fun. Our main event is King versus Spider-Man Miles Morales, so that's going to be a good time. So you can check me out there, and then you can also follow me and subscribe on YouTube at Jack the Anime Hero as well.
Okay, awesome. And guys, definitely check Jack out. Real cool dude. And plus, if you like anime and games, he got you. So with that being said, Joan of Arcade, tell the people where they could find you. What are you up to? What do you got going on?
Yes. I stream randomly on Twitch. I used to do it every Tuesday Resistance show for 2 years or so. But now it's just a variety stream, a bunch of different types of games. But you can find me on Twitch under Joan_of_arcade_. I should be the only Joan of Arcade on there, but you never know. But if you see a picture of Jill Valentine, that's the right one. And right now, I'm playing some Alien Fireteam Elite. I am really enjoying the Xenomorph hunting.
Okay. And remember, guys, that's Joan of Arcade, not Joan of Console. Completely different thing, completely. But the good news is, if you guys want to know, All the links to everyone's socials and accounts will be down below, so you can definitely go check them out. And I am your host, aka the Voltic 8, Brandon, the protagonist of this podcast. And I have plot armor, and apparently I'm a Pokemon master. If you know, you know. But with that being said, guys, that has been another episode of the Digital Arcade Podcast. We look forward to seeing you guys soon, and I guess by the next episode, they'll probably have Game of the Year already. Because, yeah, Game Awards is, what, the first week in December, right?
December 7th.
December 7th, yeah. So I guess the next episode would be after that. So we'll see if our predictions are right. But guys, it's been awesome. Make sure you like, follow, check everyone out who's on this episode. Awesome streamers. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.